Good morning, good morning. Very nice, interesting day yesterday. Stocks go up, stocks go down. What happens today? We're lower on this OPEC thing. Very interesting. I'm stalking both these 3,800 calls and 3,700 puts. If we completely collapse and we go negative and we stay negative for more than an hour, then right down we can go way lower. If we rip back positive, then we can go to 3,900 and it can go pretty fast. Okay, so very, very interesting. Got to look at both sides. Let's see. So then we see. Not really sure how it plays out, but here's what I know. Is inflation isn't going away. Nothing got better. They bought things like Lam Research. Think about it. Somebody says, CRM did the same shit that Micron did. Okay, think about this. CRM comes out and says, the quarter's really bad, we're going to really go to shit. Then they say, but it's going to be great in 2026. So then the stock goes up. So Micron comes out and says 2 to 3 quarters really, really bad, everything's going to go to shit. And then says, but we're going to spend $100 billion in the next 20 years. In the next 20 years. What is $100 billion worth in 20 years? 10 billion? Who knows? Crazy, right? And then the stock goes up. So, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it goes up or goes down. Here's the thing. You have to know why it's going up or down. And is it going to hold? So the first sign of bad chips, we're going to go back down. The first sign of inflation coming down, like if the CPI would have come down or the jobs is way down, we're going to rip, and we're going to rip a long way. You've seen how fast the rip was yesterday. We bought these 3780s, and at 3, they went to 10, then they went to 20. Then we bought the 3800s right away, and took 5 points in 5 minutes. And if you didn't take 5 points in 5 minutes, you got 0. Have to trade them. So today, we're down, 35. Puts it at 37.85, somewhere in there. 37.55, sorry. Do we break? Possible. We break right back lower. Or it's possible that we run way, way, way up. Don't know. Okay? Technically, the text looked way better, but Amazon went down and dropped 2.5. Google, right back down. If Google and Amazon start lower, we are going to go lower. Okay? If Google and then reverse, we're going to go higher. So today, just watch the text. Yesterday, the dollar was way down, but today it's up almost $1, 1 cent. If it's up 1.5, it's getting all this back. That's not good. Okay? So I have the 3710s on the line, on the screen, and the 3800s. I don't know which one I'm going to do. I may do them both. Okay? But waiting for this, supposedly this OPEC number is coming in 4 minutes. I don't know, 5 minutes. And does the market implode on it, or does it hold? Okay? Here's the thing. We came all the way up, and we went up because of the squeeze. But nothing is truly better. Okay? Nothing is truly better. Nobody's earnings are better. It just means that they feel better. Okay? And that's okay. It doesn't matter if it's better or not. Let's say we go up another 100 today, and we go up 100 Monday. We go up 100 today. It doesn't matter if it's all bad news. We went up, we buy calls, you make money. If it goes down, we buy puts, you make money. You have to be fluid and dynamic and change and trade what you see. Trade what you see. Today, what I know is if snow gets over 187, beeline to 191. If now breaks 417, this can go 20. Okay? If Amazon breaks 118 back to 115, if 115 breaks, everything is going to collapse. Same thing with Apple. If it takes out 141, everything's going to collapse. Then we see. Your hedge Very nice hedge, obviously, SPX puts, but Lam Research is a good hedge because if the market goes to shit, they're going to go sell those again, right? Interesting. Okay, that's what we know. Okay, hold on. Let's go here. Okay, comments, questions. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Then we see. We have some time for questions here if anybody wants to discuss anything. Oh, there was something somebody asked the other day, so let's talk about this. So over time, you can become an options expert and an expiration date expert, but it takes time. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's say a stock is at 100, or let's say 200, and you have the calls and they expire in the money. If it's an SPX and it's in the money by 1 penny, you get a penny. If it closes at 201, you get $1. If it's a 200 call and it closes at 201, you get $1. If it's SPX. If it's a stock, you own the stock. You get the right to buy the stock at 200. Now you own the stock. Doesn't matter if you didn't want it. You have to call them. It's auto exercise. Okay? So now the other side, say you have the 200 puts and it closes at 195, you get $5. Yesterday, we had the 3790s. We sold them right at the end. But if you held them, it closed at 3790.93. So you got 93 cents. You get 93 cents. Okay, very straightforward. Same thing with the puts. If it would have closed at 3780, you'd have got $10. But because it closed over the strike, you don't get anything. And the puts has to close at the strike. Okay? So very straightforward. Very, very straightforward. Guys got to be able to do this pretty fast in your head. Okay? Know this. Okay? That's what we know. Okay, let's get started. Okay, good morning, everybody. 10-5. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Then we see. Okay? Dollar way up. Dollar way up today, very bad. If the dollar were to come down 50 cents, then that would be better. Okay? Does the 4 a.m. numbers work on SPX? No, just bid and ask. So basically the 4 a.m. numbers are numbers, people putting in orders out there, just crazy orders that may or may not hit. But those orders, if they're there, that means, let's say Mike wants to sell, say Mike owns, I'm just making up stuff, say Mike owns Amazon and he owns 500,000 shares. And he says, I'm going to sleep. I just put this order in 500,000 shares at 130. That means he's thinking of selling it at 130. Doesn't mean he has to at that time, but that's why it creates an initial range for those stocks, up and down. Okay? Up and down. Okay, how does GS 300 put look for January? Banks seem the most obvious short or contingent. Absolutely. The banks can go low. I mean, they already told you earnings are going to be garbage. But here's the thing, it's come down a lot. So are they better than garbage? That's the whole thing. Yesterday moved a lot, today it's lower. GS is down 5. That's a big move. That can take SPX way, way lower. Okay? Stocks go up, stocks go down, then we see. Here's the thing, we had a 2-day rally. Huge rally. If it gives up one day, it will implode. It has to hold. So it's down 30. It can be down 30, 40, 50, but it has to hold somewhere in there. If it gives up the whole thing, it will implode. Then we see. Okay? SPX down 35 still. Hold on, give me a sec. 33. Let's see what happens when this OPEC stuff comes out if it goes positive. If you want to take a shot here before the numbers, your obvious plays are the 3810s. Why 3810s? 3800 is a pin. Does it get through? If it gets through, it's going to go 3832, and those $3 go to 20. If it doesn't get through, you lose 3. Okay? And on the downside, your obvious play is the 3710 puts. Because your round number is at 3,700. If we drop another 20, they're going to double from 5 to 10. Okay? But then we see it can go either way. SPXs move a lot. People that lose money because the risk, they don't understand the risk. They just make shit up in their head. I mean, gamblers know this. Gamblers know this. They go and they say, Cowboys lost the first game. They're bad. They go borrow 20 grand on a credit card and bet against them, and then they get killed. They're like, well, there's no way they can. It doesn't matter what you believe. It matters what is, what's happening. Okay? So in theory, we should hold and rip back up after this OPEC thing. But the dollar is way up. That's bad. Okay? And Amazon and Google aren't leading. They gave it back. If they lead, you're going to do fine. They'll come back up. Yesterday we bought Amazon and it doubled. It doubled. A 50-cent order doubled. Did you sell it? But we sold a lot of SPX and we sold now. And everything's covered for the whole week. Everything's just sitting there covered. So you're just chilling. Okay? SX 3751, 3732, 3700. Downside 3809 on the upside. That's right, 3810. Regeneron holding here, doing better, holding 751 up, 691 down. CMG, it popped to 1552 and then dropped all day. Never popped any higher. 1561. This is a poster child for raising prices. I'm telling you. Doesn't mean it's a good thing. It just is. Okay? NVIDIA, 131, 136, under 119, bad. Goldman Sachs, 114, 119, underneath 306, bad. Lam Research, 409. Why is this thing even up? Amazing me. 381, 362. UNH, 532. Apple, 146, 149, underneath 141. Google, 102, 106, underneath 99. Amazon, 123.10, 116, 150. Twilio, 81 up, 71 down. MDB, 206 up, 191 down. Snowman, 186, 187, 191. Underneath 172 bad. Look at it. This retested 162 on Monday and then ripped 19. Netflix, can it get into the gap? Don't know. 251. NOW, 417. Tesla, 251, 252, under 221 would be really bad. First Solar, nice breakup. But every time it hits a high, it goes down 4 or 5. Isn't that interesting? Go look. Every single time it hits a high, it goes down 4 or 5. Then it goes higher. Interesting. 146. If oil rips here, if oil rips way up to 90, 91, whatever it is, this First Solar popped to 146. And phase 303. Huge number, 303. That's what we know. That's what we know. Okay, comments, questions. Let's go look. How much Tesla does Elon have to sell? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Really strange happenings. Then we see. Meeting starting at 8. No idea. Absolutely. Thank you. Stocks are like rubber band moments of tightening and loosening is possible. This is a bull trap for Dixie. Very possible. Let me tell you, if Dixie rips 115, all the techs need to implode. That's what we know. That's what we know. That's what we know. Everybody have a great trade day. See you in chat.